Murrayfield in Edinburgh, and the Springboks victorious once again. The first week of their end-of-year tour is complete. It's complete with a victory, and this is the What Goes On Tour vodcast. So we've had a wonderful week in Edinburgh. We have to be honest, Shim. We're a bit chilly now, but the weather's been kind to us in Edinburgh, the kindest it's ever been.
Yeah, it's unheard of. Look, we got here pretty early, pretty surprised with the weather, but it's been good fun. You know, it's like a general test week, quiet during the week, and then it builds up. There's a lot of green jerseys. Then all of a sudden, there's too many green jerseys, and then it's the game, and then it's the aftermath after this. But really, a fantastic week here. Always good to be here. It's a pretty city. It's an easy city, and very hospitable people too.
And we've had a very interesting time here in Edinburgh, not only in Edinburgh, because on Tuesday, Shimmi and I got to go and watch Celtic play a Champions League game against Leipzig. I don't know about you, as sporting experiences go, that was one of the best I've ever had. I couldn't believe the atmosphere. We caught the train through 1 hour to Glasgow and took the long walk to the stadium. It was epic.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, welcome to paradise. It's what's a parkhead called Paradise. Fantastic atmosphere. We sat above the ultras with the guys that don't stop singing all day long. And a good game of football also. Yeah. I think my first time experiencing Champions League football in such a historical stadium like where Celtic play. You know, you look at the history of the team, what they represent, but fantastic. What a game, what an occasion. Again, it's the first time I was hugging a stranger in a soccer game after Celtic scored. The guys turned their backs and started singing once Celtic were, I think, 3-1 ahead. Yeah, so it's something you really want to experience when you come out here. Again, just so easy to jump onto the train, get back, the long walk back down there, but just excitement and what a way to start the week.
And the day after we went to the Celtic game, we caught up with Scott Hastings, who was on the previous edition of What Goes On Tour. He's had enormous personal tragedy to deal with this year, but just one of the great characters in rugby. Saw his brother Gavin later on, and then in prepping for this game with the Ferguson brothers playing, you realise that for brothers to play together in 51 test matches, that is quite something. Gavin and Scott Hastings, they forever will be legends of rugby in this country.
Yeah, but besides being legends, absolute characters also. Yeah. Always good for a chat, always good fun. Told us a short history of Edinburgh, the right pubs to go to, the history of the Royal Mile, a lot of things we didn't know about.
Yeah.
The Cannonball building, he told us about where they used to fire the cannonballs and one was stuck in the wall there, a shoot at the castle. But yeah, such a good rugby guy, and also the experiences about touring South Africa, what it felt like as a guy, brothers playing for Edinburgh or playing for Scotland, touring South Africa. And, that's what rugby's about. It's the friendships, and we'll certainly see him probably, somewhere when they come to South Africa or when we're back here. But the stories he had and the insight they give is fantastic.
Later on in the week, I got to attend a lunch to raise funds for the Bill McLaren Foundation. Now, for any rugby broadcaster, Bill McLaren will just live long in the memory, an absolute legend of rugby and broadcasting. And this foundation, in his memory, does such good work across the rugby world. In fact, they support a charity in South Africa as well with some of the funding raised. So it was good to be able to go and support that lunch with Brian Habana and George Gregan. And Habana made me get up on the stage and sing a few lines of Mustang Sally, which was a little bit awkward.
You didn't ask to sing?
No, I didn't actually.
You should have asked to sing.
For a change, I didn't. But then it was great to be able to support that. And rugby is amazing like that. Despite the attrition on the field, it's wonderful to see how friendships made on the rugby field come together when players have retired to do good, and we see so much of that in the game.
Yeah, look, it's phenomenal. What with the Bill McLaren Foundation, but also just to have everyone. I mean, George Gregan, we saw. I think last time was in Paris. We saw him, and Australia won. Well done to Australia, and
yes.
Also watching the New Zealand Ireland game, but just the whole build-up. I think just as these autumn tests are always fantastic. It's always good weekends, for people sitting back home in South Africa. The kickoffs are at the right time, and you've got 3 good games. It feels like almost like a World Cup feel again, or what's happened after World Cup, who's grown, who's going backwards. But I'm happy to say this: the South dominated.
Didn't they just? I mean, not a good weekend for the Six Nations at all. France getting an expected win over Japan, but Argentina really dealing with Italy. Spoke about an incredible game at Twickenham with Australia after the hooter finding a way to score yet another try. And then Wales losing out to Fiji, Scotland losing out to South Africa here, and then of course New Zealand beating Ireland in Dublin. The North have got a lot to do next
World
week.
order has been restored. Look, but we still got another weekend to go. Look, the best result, obviously, we want the Springboks to do all, which you enjoy. But the best thing that could have happened was Australia beating England just for the Lions series.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a lot of excitement. This brings a different age. I think, the Scotland-Australia game would be very good. I don't think Australia can lose to Wales. And then there's the Ireland game. So they get 1 or 2 against Ireland or Scotland. Then it's on for the Lions series and makes it exciting for next year. But a great result for the Springboks. So a great result for the Southern Hemisphere. And yeah, look, it's an exciting weekend, but we get to do it again next weekend.
We do. We're going to finish off talking about the rugby. But before I get there, you had a very, very special experience. I know it's something you've done before, much to my jealousy, but you got to go to the home of golf, St. Andrews, to play a round of golf there with your mate Brian Habana.
Yeah.
And a special place to be. You were telling me about it earlier. Just tell the viewers.
Yeah, look, it's great. Look, I mean, the thing is, I don't know why, you play golf at home. I'm not nervous off the first tee box. For some reason, you get to the old course there and you're a bit nervous. It's a bit edgy. There's a couple of people watching and it's the widest fairway in the world. You can't miss. It's impossible. But yeah, it's good fun. Just the history of it, playing it. But I must say, halfway, I probably had the best pie I've ever had in my life. It was a macaroni and cheese pie.
You're joking.
Ordering halfway, obviously, we wanted sausage and bacon, whatever, it's grab and go. The caddy said, listen, have the macaroni. It's the best pie I've ever had. I'll go back there just for the pie. I'll go halfway, buy the pie, and then I had a little Glenmorangie just to wash it down, down the fairway. But fantastic, though. But what an occasion. I got stuck in a couple of bunkers, which wasn't really nice.
Did you get in the road hole bunker?
No, I missed that one. Actually, the road hole, I think I got a 6 for that hole.
Very good.
Went it off, so that wasn't bad though. But I hit 1 or 2 of the hidden bunkers, but almost impossible to get out of there. But I made it out, So it was good fun. But what an experience! I mean, I'll tell you what, we watched the Scotland-England game at the Jigger Inn.
The Australian-England game.
Yeah, sorry, Australian-England game. At the Jigger Inn, full of South Africans, and everyone was cheering for Australia. It's bizarre. The guys were celebrating, but it was a nice way to finish off a good weekend, to come out here with a lot of the South African supporters that were playing golf just an hour outside of Edinburgh. So a great week all around.
Let's just finish off by
talking about... I lost the golf
about...
game, by the way.
But... By the way, I get a bit nervous when you're on the first tee. Let's just finish off talking about the rugby and not only the match, but the preparation. Eyebrows were raised when the team was announced in a 7-1 split on the bench. But perhaps more significantly, the opportunity given to Andre Esterhuizen and Lucanio in the midfield. They haven't had a lot of opportunity this year. Makazola Mapimpi and Kana Moody on the wings. Willie Leroux getting to 98 tests. And you think about the players who didn't get to play in this test match, who will almost certainly play next week. And yet to come away with a 17-point victory against a fully loaded Scottish side, just another indication of the incredible depth.
Yeah, look, it's not easy. Today's game wasn't easy. Look at that 17-point win. There were times when Scotland were on top of us. They missed a line out, their handling error. There was a try disallowed for the roll just before halftime, a knock on here by Hugh Jones. So Scotland create a lot, but they don't finish a lot. And great teams finish. And I think that's what we showed today. We absorbed a lot of pressure. Composure was needed. And there's always a storyline to a game. It goes up and down, up and down. But I think the exciting thing is the talent we've got, the experience we've got, the squad depth we're building within the team, and the backing these guys have. Speaking to Peter Steph-Tutoy's here, those are the 2 starters, general starters, some of the best players in the world, and they understand the role and what's needed there. But it certainly wasn't an easy game today, but it's a good victory. And you take it, you run with it, and it's on to Allianz Stadium.
In Twickenham.
Allianz.
Ben White's try being chalked off means that Scotland have now gone at the Rugby World Cup and here in Edinburgh, 160 minutes of rugby without scoring a try. So as much as we were talking in commentary about South Africa's handling, letting them down at times and not really building the rhythm that they would have wanted. Their defence really stood up when it counted.
Yeah, attitude and commitment is always shown through defense. Scotland were brave also. I mean, they put in some big hits on our guys. They showed a physical edge to it, but the commitment's thrown through defense. Even when Scotland made line breaks, you could see the cover defense, the scramble defense, because sometimes you can sit back and say, I didn't miss my tackle, I've done my job. But the fact that these guys are covering each other shows a lot of commitment there. But I was happy for a guy like Mapimpi today. I mean, look at the game he had. I mean, Kane and Moody came alive in the second half also with the high balls and the opportunities they created. So everybody, you go throughout the whole South African team, not one guy had a bad game.
Yep.
You know, sometimes lacked a bit of cohesion, one or two individual areas, but you get over that and you get the result. And that's what test match rugby is about.
Well, Makazole Mapimpi, 2 tries the last time the Springboks were here in Edinburgh in 2021, 2 tries this evening, which took him level in 3rd place on the all-time try scorers list with Jacques Fourie. So job done, 4 tries to 0. Against Scotland and a 17-point victory at Murrayfield. It's a 6-day turnaround now, so not as much preparation time. And the Springboks go to Allianz Stadium at Twickenham to face England next week, who will be smarting after back-to-back defeats against New Zealand and Australia. They will be absolutely desperate for a win, which just adds a little bit extra. We'll be on that journey with the Springboks. We'll be bringing you all the news, the team selections, interviews throughout the course of the week, and of course, another episode of What Goes on Tour when we get down to London. Until next time, cheerio.